Oh, dang it. Okay.
Can open.
There you go. Does that sound good? Good morning.
Good morning.
This comes out in the morning time.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Comes out at 11 a.m. That's morning.
Yeah. For us, we're recording at like 5 p.m.
It's fine.
It's all movie magic.
Podcast magic.
Podcast magic. Trying to get up. So I am not as quiet as last week.
She was very quiet last week.
So I'm just going to sit right in front of it.
It's still very quiet.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat better though.
So you start talking normally.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, we're going to drop out now.
Let's see if I can remember to talk like that.
Project.
Robot.
You just have to project. Like, I'm further away from the mic and I got big waves. Look at those big waves.
Big.
See, even mine are bigger than yours and you're right up on it. Let me aim it towards you more. Let's hope that works.
Let's see.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go.
Lyrica just needs to learn how to project. That's Lyrica, I'm Tessa.
Yeah.
And this is the one where they analyze movies, but today we're not analyzing movies.
Yeah.
I don't feel good, which is bad because we're going to a music festival tomorrow. Yeah. Well, we're driving tomorrow. We're going Friday and Saturday. So we're doing a smaller episode, so my voice... I have sinus problems. I'm pretty sure I have a deviated septum, so I get sinus infections very easily. So I've been drinking nonstop water. I haven't drank any caffeine, and it's killing me.
Yeah.
I took a lot of medication. Sleep upright. Don't sleep with a fan on to keep it humid.
Your body also is like, whenever you have like...
something important, it always goes, hey, we're going to check out now. It's always when something... last year that didn't happen.
Yeah. Go.
She gets food poisoning. It's her fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was sick for every Christmas, basically. For like 4 or 5 years. Every Christmas I had something going on. Whether it was nausea, sinus infection. One time I got the flu. Another time I got the cold. One time it wasn't technically illness, but I did get my wisdom teeth pulled near Christmas time.
Got the ick.
The ick?
I'm just kidding.
That's not what you think it means.
Yeah, I know.
I got the suds. I doubt you know that reference. The suds? Watch SpongeBob.
I have watched SpongeBob.
That's in the suds. That's one of the classic episodes.
There's so many episodes.
The suds is when he gets sick.
Oh, okay.
And he's blowing out bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And how he gets fixed is he cleans things. And then he doesn't have the suds anymore. Which I report of plugging up all of his holes.
Vaguely remember that.
I haven't watched that episode in like 10 years, and I still remember. It's a core memory. SpongeBob, all the episodes, core memory.
I remember,
and the movie.
You know, the hash-slinging slasher. I remember
him.
Yeah, I remember the
slash slinging, the hash bringing.
I remember the first episode, too. Vividly.
Where there's no talking, and it's about a leaf that they're trying to blow leaf. That's the first ever episode.
What I remember the first ever episode is talking about the Krabby Patty, and like, it's like a narrator talking about how the Krabby Patty was made.
I think that's the second episode.
Maybe the second one.
No, like, the first ever episode, because I had season 1 on DVD. I'm pretty sure the first ever episode was a non-speaking one, because they didn't have voice actors. And they had a leaf that kept going places, and SpongeBob was trying to clean it, and so he was using the reef blower. Leaf blower? Reef blower. That's what it's called. Hold on. First SpongeBob episode. Reef blower. And then Help Wanted, and then Tea at the Tree Dome. Those are all part of the first episode.
I guess I never did see the... Oh, wait, yeah, because didn't they used to do small ones instead of big, like, 20-minute episodes?
It used to be two episodes in one.
Yeah.
But these ones was 2 to 3.
This is what this episode is about. No, I'm just kidding. Today we're talking about SpongeBob and its historic.
I want to. I love SpongeBob.
Its historic relevance on children. See, I have a love-hate relationship with SpongeBob. I liked it, and then I hated it, then I liked it, then I hated it. I've never been consistent.
I loved it. I've always loved it. My mom hates it. My grandma absolutely despises it.
I think what I do like is I like some episodes, and then I don't like some episodes. So in my brain, I was like, well, I don't like it as a whole. And then I was like, but I like it, but I don't.
I can't think of anywhere I absolutely despise. Besides season 1, episode 1. I hate watching that over and over. Because I used to only have season 1 on DVD.
Yeah.
And my mom wouldn't record it on the DVR. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what when you record stuff and it would be
it's
on?
a DVR, yeah.
Okay, it was right. It's been ages. So my mom wouldn't record it, so I had to buy the DVD sets. So I had like season 1, season 2, 3, and then 5 and 6. I think I didn't get 4 for some reason. But you could thank my father for those. I think he was the one that bought them for me.
I do remember being sick once, and they were leading up to like the 1000th episode of SpongeBob or something like that. So Nickelodeon was doing a thing where they were only playing SpongeBob in chronological order. And I remember being sick one day and just watching so much SpongeBob, and then I watched the like new episode they were releasing as the big 1000 or some big number.
Mm-hmm. Probably 1000. I think they made a big deal for 1000.
Yeah, it was,
from what I remember.
Yeah. Even though I can't really remember the episode, but I remember it was big deal.
Mm-hmm. So, do we have anything to talk about the week besides the music festival? This episode is going to be like 40 minutes long, most likely, to save my voice so I don't get a sore throat.
I think my week was pretty uneventful. I've been doing surveys for money. I'm up to $25.
How the hell? What app do you use?
It's called Survey Junkie.
Do you use an app?
I think I just have a online website that
I used to do that, and I didn't get that much.
Yeah.
I need to do that again.
This one has a bunch, and they range from like 10 cents a survey up to like $3, $4, and I've been grinding
How
up
long
those.
do they take?
It depends on the survey. I usually go for ones that are like 20 minutes or 20 minutes or so, or 15 or less than that, because I get annoyed doing the really long ones, and it shows you like how many points you would get, which is how many cents compared to the time. So I always make sure like if I'm doing a long one, I'm getting a good
I might do some of those tonight because I have an account. I just never had any luck with it.
Yeah. You just have to keep doing them, and like if you get kicked out, you gotta go to the next one, and because you're not always qualified for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been just like consistently
do it for an hour each night.
Doing them, yeah, and I've been doing them on my lunch break. So
that makes sense. Nothing about my week either. Should we just get into the topic then?
Yeah. I did, real quick, however. They have a Facebook, and they were doing a special promotion where, like, if you did 7 surveys that are 20 points or more, they were giving away, like, $100 to, like, 10 people.
This is not an ad, by the way.
No, it is not. Sponsor me. Just kidding. And they also post other things, and this one lady cashed out, like, $1,500 from doing surveys.
Wow. That's goals.
Damn. Yeah, so that was just a quick thing.
Interesting.
Woo!
So our discussion, we're going to have a discussion. We did watch a movie, but then now I'm feeling crappy. So we're going to save that for next week's episode. We are going to talk about books versus movies.
Yeah, which is...
Book versus movie adaptations, I should say.
Like what we like from books that we like that get turned into movies, what we could leave behind. Because we have had some heated debates about this.
To explain, me and Lyrica, our requirements for when a book turns into a movie are very different. I feel like I'm more lenient, while you are more dedicated to the book.
Yeah.
So you want the movie to be really close to the book or in close aspects of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So we have two different stances on them. Why don't you go first to give my throat a rest?
Which, for me, I have like a difference. It's like if I read a book and I love a book and then it gets turned into a movie, I'm a lot harder on it. But if I watch a movie that was a book, but I watch the movie first, then read the book, then I'm a lot like less hard on it, because I think for me it's like what I watch first is what becomes, or watch/read first becomes my viewpoint of it, unless the movie is like really like horrible or something and I'm like, oh yeah, the book was has so much more going on, like if I butchered the movie completely.
Mm-hmm.
But where I'm like the hardest is if it is a book that I love the most, which our debate happened over The Host, which is my favorite book of all time, even though, you know, Stephanie Meyer, she's not the best. She's questionable. But I read that book when I was in 6th grade, and
there's a fruit fly.
Oh, and consecutively all the years after that, I've read it probably at least once a year or listened to the audiobook.
That's crazy to me. That's such a long book. It took me so long to listen to it, because I did listen to it. I've owned the book for ages, never read it. I started doing pottery class for school, and, you know, we would have like work study time where we would have to practice.
Yeah.
Sometimes out of class time, I would go and practice and everything if my station was open. And so I would listen to the book during those times. And it took me I think it took me half a semester to finish it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was doing it for like an hour, maybe every other day. Listening to it an hour every other day. I think it was like a 26-hour audiobook.
Yeah, it's something around there, which for me,
or 32.
I love long books.
I have it long.
I will read books that are pushing like 500 pages and enjoy them. So that book I read super quick, especially now that I've read it so many times. It's a really fast read for me.
Oh my god, this is only available until 7/12. Oh, I'm downloading it so I can keep it.
Oh my gosh.
This is available until 7/12.
Excuse me, if you use one of your credits on Audible, I can't just take the book away from you.
I think they're taking the audiobook off.
Oh, dare.
So that's probably why. But I'm going to see if I download it, if I keep it. But maybe they'll give you an extra credit.
Say, are you compensating for that? Because we paid for those credits, okay?
Okay, host.
I should do that too, because I have it as well.
The same with Tessa the Divorce. Why?
So,
I downloaded that one. Well, that one I didn't finish. I don't really care for that book. How long is it? 23 hours.
Yeah. Now I'm concerned, because mine isn't like that. That's weird.
Because yours was already downloaded. Mine wasn't. I undownloaded it because I didn't want my phone to have too much data downloaded. So once I finish a book, I undownload it. But that's why I re-downloaded it. But the other book that I have, Tessa the... Let's see if you can say it, because it's French.
Tess of the Dubervilles?
Yeah, that book, my name is somewhat based off of that book. And so I tried listening to it. Man, oh man, is it boring. Why is it? Okay, remove from device. Let me re-download it. Because I want to finish that book and figure out why. Oh, it's Stardust too. Why are you saying all these things?
Weird.
Okay, I'm downloading all the books that are...
Maybe it's if you no longer have an account, because I have Audible again because they offered me 3 free months, so maybe that is what's happening. Like after a long period of time, it takes your books, which is shitty.
Slaughterhouse 5, Lord of the Flies. Yo, those are my favorite books.
That's shitty if that's the
Invisible,
case.
Scarlet Letter. I was never really going to read that. That was free. Some of these I got for free.
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded Midnight Sun.
Hell yeah. I haven't even read that.
When did I get that book?
As a diehard Twilight fan in the past, I just haven't wanted to read Midnight Sun.
You should read Guilty Pleasures. That's an interesting book. That's Chase recommended it for me. He was like, it's a Twilight but better. Where it's an awesome main character. She's like badass. She's the opposite of Bella. So I was like, yeah, I like that. Why did I download? Oh, well, I'm downloading Midnight Sun.
Midnight Sun is a trip, let me tell you. From reading
I should listen to audiobooks again.
he's like, Edward is so much creepier than he already is.
I also got the Ballad of the Songbirds and all of the Hunger Games books. I don't remember getting these.
Just
A
absolutely.
Man's Search for Meaning?
Memory.
When did I get that? Oh, Pretty Little Lies. I remember that. I got The Hobbit because I was like, I really want to listen to The Hobbit.
Not that long one.
11 hours. Hobbit's not that big.
Oh,
The books aren't that big.
Oh, the movies are.
The movies are ridiculously long. Because The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings is technically one book.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are one book. The movie broke the one book into 3 movies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it is... Lord of the Rings is a big book.
Mm-hmm.
Hobbit, not so much. Lord of the Rings is a big book, but it's not 3 movies worth, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like the movies.
First book to movie opinion.
Well, I've never read the book.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. I listened to The Hobbit halfway through and then I went, because I have the Hobbit book. I don't know for sure if I still have it. I might have donated it. But the way Tolkien writes is very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of Shakespeare sometimes, so I don't understand what the fuck he's saying. So that's why I got the audiobook, because same with Shakespeare, I don't know what they're saying unless I hear it, then I get it. Because context, and my brain flutters when I don't know what I'm reading. Yeah. Still boring. Still cannot get behind it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Now, if they wrote a Dungeons and Dragons book, I might read it. They might have books. I don't know.
Who knows?
Fanfic?
Fanfic, probably.
Because it's a game. Oh, did your nail fall off completely?
Yeah, that happened a few days ago. No, but oh well. I'm getting it redone.
Yeah, but you had it glued. When did it fall off?
Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You glued it for a day and then it went, no.
Yep. Yeah, but the host was our catalyst because, I love the host. I do not like the movie. I read the book and then I think a year or 2 passed and then I saw it was being made into a movie. So, like, I was so hyped and excited because I was like, my favorite book is getting turned into a movie because I like movies and I like to see what they do with a live action version of the books that I'm reading. I want to see it like come to life before me because, with reading, you're doing the imagining of what's happening. So it's cool to see it actually realized. I didn't like the movie.
I'm going to do a controversial take. I don't think the book is good as the movie. I did not really like the book. The book was just, I think it had details in it that it didn't need. I was like, why do I care about them playing soccer? I really don't care. That's not something I need to know. I think for me, in general, usually I like movies better than books. Unless if it's a book I'm obsessed with. But I thought it was way too long. I thought it was just boring in some parts where I was just like, I don't care. Also, I don't think I like, from what I remember, I don't think I like Jared that much in the book. I was like, I really don't like him.
Yeah,
But in the movie, they made him likable, which I wanted. I wanted to root for him. But in the book, I was like, I want to root for you, but I also want to strangle you.
Yeah.
Because you're not a good person.
Yeah. That's valid. I'm not a big Jared fan. I like
Ian.
Yeah, Ian is my favorite. But yeah, I think when I was reading The Host, that was the height of how much I loved books as well. So like, I used to read more books than I'd even watch movies. Like, I would spend hours just reading, and I was one of those kids who'd bring a book to school, and like while class was like starting, I'd be sitting there reading my book still.
That's what I did too.
And they'd be like, you can't be doing that. I'm like, but math is boring.
Oh, I wouldn't read during class. If I had break time, I would.
I would read during class. I was like, especially math.
See, I'm not like that.
I hated math, so I was like, do I have to do
I
that?
would read, like, walking to class, or before class I would read, but not so much. I can't, now as an adult, I think I've gotten to the point where I can't read. I have to listen to an audiobook, even if it's a fiction book. I think I've gotten so used to it with my nonfiction, like my textbooks and everything, that now I have to listen to an audiobook to keep me in the book. Because, like, even, like, the greatest book, Harry Potter is so good. My brain does not want to stick to it. So I have to listen to audiobooks of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but, like, books, I used to love them. Now I'm tired all the time.
Yeah.
The only time I really want to read a book is if I have a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a goal with Harry Potter. The goal is now gone.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, do I have to read it? And also I'm waiting for one of my favorite narrators to post his narration of the fourth book. Because I'm stuck on that, and I'm listening to another guy do it, and he has a very bad recording of it.
Yeah. Which, I've been there. Where there's some audiobooks that I started, and I was like, I can't listen to this person narrate. They are not good. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, I'm going to listen to all of the Twilight books, and there's only one narrator, at least when I got it, and she was so dry that getting through the first book was like, oh my god, there's no emotion. I can't.
Have you tried YouTube?
Lady. I didn't check YouTube. But
try YouTube. That's where I get mine, is people narrating on YouTube. That's where I got the first 3 books. And then the guy who does the ones that I really like, he like really gets into the characters and voices them.
Yeah.
In their designed voices.
That's what I like, is when they can make voices that like match. Mm-hmm. That's why when I was doing I wanted to re-listen to all of the House of Night books, because I loved those in high school. And then I had to buy 2 of the books because they switched narrators, but then the narrator I liked, she comes back like after they did 2 books with a different one. Mm-hmm. And the other narrator, she reads the book like she's 10 years old, and it's so like I can't listen to. I literally can't. So I got the books to read in place of listening to those. Because I was like, I can't do it. She sounds like a 10-year-old.
Are these on Audible?
Yeah.
You know you can listen to a sample before you get them.
Oh yeah, I listened to the sample of like the other narrator, and I was like, with Twilight, I was like, well, maybe she'll be better. Like, no, she's just like the entire.
And there was only one recording too, so it's kind of like you gotta deal with it.
And then I think she narrated all of the books, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Oh, I wonder if she's the narrator of Midnight Sun that I just got.
Like, gosh, she
excuse me,
is just so dry. Yeah, so I think.
But I also listen to a robot read my PDF, so I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah. For me, I can't listen to an audiobook of a book that I haven't read because I get too distracted. So that's like why all of the audiobooks I have, if I want to listen to them at work, they're all books that I have read before. because I can't focus on somebody just reading something to me, which I've always been like that. If somebody's like, here, let me read you a story, my brain taps out. Where, like, if I'm physically doing it myself.
Two very different people.
Yeah.
You're visual, I'm auditory.
Yeah, like
You have to read it. For me, I'm really good at, if I'm doing something that doesn't require a lot of mind shit, I can listen to somebody talking. I will listen to a lot of YouTube videos that I've never seen before talking, audiobooks that I've never read, and I can retain that information for the most part. Now, if I'm doing something where I really need to focus, then I'll pause it, do what I need to do, and then play it again.
Yeah, I've tried, and then I'm like, I don't know what the story has been for the past couple of minutes. Like,
That's me reading. My brain just goes, oh, what am I going to make for dinner? What about my homework assignment? So my brain wanders if I'm not reading along while listening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I love The Host so much. It's a little bit different if it's a book that I don't absolutely love. Like the Hunger Games books, I'm like...
Those are pretty similar.
Yeah.
The first one and the second one.
Yeah.
I remember they were pretty similar to the movies for the most part. Yeah. Third one, I have no idea. I never read the third one.
Oh, that one made me cry more than the movie did because it's very...
Is it similar?
Yeah, from what I remember. I haven't read
Are you talking about characters? Because I think you're a stickler of characters.
I am kind of a stickler
and not entirely plot.
Yeah.
Because I think if the characters of The Host looked like the characters, you would have liked The Host.
Oh, no.
You don't like the plot at all?
No, I don't like the...
It was the exact same plot. Except they cut a lot of the shit out.
Which they couldn't... Well, because for me, personally, reading the book, I like all the things that we get to know, and it's too big of a book, I think, that to be made into a movie. So, like, the things that I really loved about the book, I felt like was lacking in the movie, because you only have a certain amount of time.
Like what?
Like, I like...
Don't say the soccer, because I fucking hated that scene.
No, I like every single beat that happens in the book, because it's very much kind of like a...
Like what? I need examples.
Well, it's like, in my brain, it always reminds me of, like, an adventure. Like, you have Wanda taking her trip there, and I always remember that being, like, a big section. And then she gets there, and she's becoming more, like, acclimated with everyone while Jared's gone. And then you have her, like, relationship budding with Ian, and, like, seeing her talk with everybody and start to get, like, know everybody better, and everyone's starting to build trust. Then you have the, I'm probably butchering the order, because even though I've read it so much, order I get confused constantly.
See, I think a lot of those were in it. Again, with how much and how big that book is, you can't have all of it in there.
Yeah.
So I think they did have all of what you said in the movie, just not an hour worth of all of the things.
Yeah.
Because then that would be a 10-hour movie and nobody would watch that.
Yeah. I think.
And this is also in a time where 2.5-hour movies were not a thing. You do not make a 2.5-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to put all of that stuff in an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is not easy.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm thinking, like, I was really excited for it to be a movie, but I think I just like so much of the book that is only able to be done in a book, because unless they were making multiple movies, but for a singular book, I feel like...
Lord of the Rings.
I feel like multiple movies maybe wouldn't have worked. Maybe like a TV show, I could see that, like, fitting better, but yeah, I just love so much of what's going on in the book, personally. Like, I like the smaller moments with all the conversations with the different characters, and I think the movie also went a little bit more action than what I liked. Like, in the book, because, like, there's cars exploding and all like that, from what I remember, like, the Seeker, like, getting into an accident or something. I vaguely remember this movie because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Seeker getting in an accident. She didn't get into an accident. I think one of them did, and they were taking the Seeker with, and then the other Seeker grabbed a gun, one of their guns, and shot at them. There was a little bit of action. It's definitely not an action movie.
Yeah. For me, I just... not what I envisioned personally for the book.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what I envisioned for the movie. Characters aside. Now, I wanted Ian to have the black hair and blue eyes. I think also specifically because I love, that color combination. And then they just made him 2 blonde guys, and I was like, they were so much more interesting looking in my brain when they had black hair and, smoldering blue eyes. In my brain, they should.
Well, I think they couldn't do smoldering blue eyes because the people who were enabled by the aliens had blue eyes. So if they made them have very bright blue eyes, then they would have to change the whole concept of the eyes.
Well, they have reflective eyes in the book.
In the book, but they can't really do that in the movie, so they do blue, very blue white pupils. So, not pupils, ring around the pupils. So having that, I can see not having those bright blue eyes. And in reality, people naturally don't have piercing blue eyes most of the time, unless you do photo editing on them.
Mm-hmm.
Or constantly put a bright light in their face, which wouldn't be happening. I'm not a stickler for lookalikes. I don't care if a character... My stickler is with characters is they need to be the same in the book.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be the same, energy, personality. Because if there's a bad guy and they make him a good guy in the movie, I'm like, you can't change that whole concept.
Kind of changing the plot a little bit too to make
not making a bad guy be really, really sympathetic. That's not how you do it. In the book, they're assholes.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep the same personality around them.
I see what you're saying. I thought you meant change them from
good to bad.
And I was like, that would change the whole plot. No. I would be pissed if they're the villain from the book, he's the good guy.
No, if a person is really snarky, and then you get for example, I'll do Twilight. Mm-hmm. Twilight, Bella in the book, I fucking loved her in the book. I thought she was funny. I thought she was witty. Of course, a little quirky, but she was funny in the book. She said stuff, and I thought it was hilarious. In the movie, they completely erased that and made her an awkward person. I'm like, she wasn't awkward in the book. She was great in the book. She stood up. She voiced her opinions. Of course, she was weird, but she wasn't in the movie. So that's what irks me is when they change the traits of the person.
Yeah.
You could change the hair. You could change the... Everything else I don't really care about. Because they did that with Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson, Grover wasn't a black guy. He was actually he was a white guy with a goatee and long curly red hair. I think, or blonde. Red or blonde, I can't remember. And he had a Jamaican hat. And so he was supposed to be kind of almost like a druggy kid. Mm-hmm. What is that called? Smokes weed a lot.
Stoner?
A stoner. He was supposed to be a stoner. But in the movie, he's this really, really cool, really personable black guy. I forgot what his name was. The actor. Can't remember the actor's name.
That's interesting. I didn't know in the book he's a stoner. That's an interesting...
Yeah, well, there's a certain version of Percy Jackson where they have character designs of what Rick Riordan was thinking about, what they would look like in the book. And in the first movie, Annabelle is supposed to have blonde hair, but she has brown hair. But then you see in the... Then you see in the second movie, she does have blonde hair, but I don't know if that was an actress choice where she just ended up dyeing her bleaching her hair blonde anyways, and then it just happened to fall in line. But I think also for me, my gripe, You're the Host was my Percy Jackson, where I absolutely love the whole series. I fell in love with them. I bought a book set a while ago. Still haven't read the second book. I'm trying to finish Harry Potter first, and then Percy Jackson.
Be in a couple of years.
Yeah, it really would be. After I graduate, I should be good. and I'll start going back to reading. But the thing is, again, I might do a controversial take. The movies, not really bad. I like watching the movies. The movies are interesting. Except the second movie at the end. I really don't like that ending. But I digress. Even though I loved the books, I did like the movies. But I like the movies differently than I like the books.
Yeah.
I like the books because it gives me a nostalgic feel. Like I remember reading these when I was in elementary school. And I do wish they followed the books more. But the movies, I think, are good in their own way. But I don't think who's yelling? That's not the dad.
Yeah.
Is that the kid?
It sounds like a woman to me.
Is that the mom? Interesting. We have so much tea about the people upstairs.
They're not very
They're
nice.
usually very good, but the child's apparently doesn't listen, is what I've heard. Through the walls.
Okay, you hear more than I do.
Yeah, the kid lives right above my bedroom.
Okay.
So I hear a lot of shit.
I only hear the yelling. Bam, it's always interesting.
But with the books and the movie, I appreciate them differently. I'm able to separate them. Because I don't think I take it as a personal attack when they don't make the movie like the book. Because I also think, okay, but I'm not the director, so I can't really say shit.
Yeah.
I think they're good movies on their own. I wouldn't say they're better than the original books.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say they're equal in their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
The books are a little more hit or miss for me. I like the first movie. I actually would argue, I think I like the first movie better now, reading the first book. Not better. I would say equally, because I think a lot more happens that are funny, that's interesting in the movie than I think in the book. But the book has a lot more gods in them, which I like better. You meet like Ares, you meet Poseidon, Hades, you meet there was a thing that happened in an abandoned amusement park where you meet the guy who traps people. Can't remember that god's name. You don't meet him, but they have essence of him there. Persephone, you hear talks about Persephone and Aphrodite, so Hephaestus. You get a lot more introduction into the gods in that one rather than in the movie. But, I'm not really a stickler. If a movie goes by a book to the T, I really, really like it. If a movie doesn't go by the book, but it's still a good movie, I can still separate it then. Yeah. If it's a shit movie that doesn't go by the book at all, and it's just a shit movie, then I don't like it at all, and it taints my love for the book a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I can separate them in, there's books that I like similar to movies. There's movies that I like more than books.
Like what?
I like the Fault in Our Stars movie better than the book.
I've never seen the movie. I refuse. The book hurt me.
The book is a lot more, sad and depressing, where the movie has a little bit more, it's still sad because the subject matter is going to be sad, but there's a little bit more hope, yeah, and lightness to it, so it doesn't feel like such a kind of always depressing kind of deal. And the book is, because it's a book, tends to be quirky the majority of the time, and I'm not usually one for a lot of quirkiness, so the movie dials that down, but that's more a personal preference.
Wasn't that book also written by the science guy's brother? Or the history buff? John Green?
John Green, yeah.
And then there's Hank Green?
Yeah.
Hank Green's the scientist guy.
Yeah. What a family.
John Green is the history, which is very interesting turn. He's written a lot of bestsellers.
Yeah. Which another one, his bestsellers I don't like, neither book nor movie, is Paper Towns.
I never read or seen that book.
Saw the movie. I didn't like it. Tried to read the book. I didn't like it. So I was like, I don't think this is for me because neither of these mediums of the story I am just not. I'm not into. I think one of the Wolf brothers is in Paper Towns though, and I do like them as actors.
And it's not Nate. It's the other one.
Yeah, and then it has the Cara Delevingne, the model with the bold eyebrows. I always remember just her eyebrows. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I didn't like either of those.
Controversial take. I think she's a good actress. I like her and stuff.
I've only seen her in two things, and that would be that movie and then Suicide Squad.
She was also in another movie, and I think she did really well, but I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
I feel like I haven't heard a lot about her. I don't know what she's just doing modeling.
Let's see. Cara Delevingne. Ooh, pretty.
Ooh.
That's a pretty good look.
Again, the eyebrows. She always has such a stern eyebrow.
Valerian? I've heard that she was good at it, but I don't remember if that was good. It's not Nat.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, it is Nat.
Yeah.
Who was I thinking? Who's the other one that's in Hereditary?
It's Nat and Alex.
Alex. That's who I was thinking. I thought his name was Nat.
It's weird to see them as actors.
Oh, she was in Pan.
Well, I guess they were. Sorry. I was thinking about the Naked Brothers band because that's how I knew them, and I guess that was a TV show, so they were technically actors, but like serious actors now. So
she's in an Amazon original right now called Carnival Road. I don't know if it's still going on. And then Only Murders in the Building since 2021. She might still be in it, but
just doing her modeling mostly. I was thinking about her because she was in a lot of stuff around the Paper Town Suicide Squad time.
Mm-hmm. And then she went, I'm good.
I don't remember her in Suicide Squad, so I don't have an opinion on her.
I think she was good. She freaked me out. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't want her near
Which
me.
we have the controversial opinion where we both like Suicide Squad.
The first one?
Yeah. Like no one else does. I like that movie.
Maybe that's a good movie. That's nothing like the comics. But I think it's a cute movie. I am upset. Did she go up there or come down?
She came down and then ran. What a weirdo.
I think Suicide Squad is fantastic. The second one, I watched like 20 minutes of it and I thought it was super stupid and I turned it off. My brothers convinced me to watch it with them. I watched it with them. So good. I was like, dang, okay. Because they were going for the campy feel. I didn't know they were going in campy. I thought they were going to be serious like the first one. Mm-hmm. So when I was seeing it, I was like, it looked cheap to me. I was like, this looks so cheap.
But completely different vibes.
Yeah, I was like, this looks cheap. This is weird. I don't like it. And I thought it was like the director's fault. But then when I finally gave it a chance, I was like, oh, it's supposed to look cheap and campy.
Yeah.
Got it.
I like that movie.
And it was rated
I like
R.
both of them. I also like Jared Leto's Joker. That's controversial, but I thought it was an interesting take that's different from all the other Jokers we see. So I liked it. He was kind of like an interesting
I saw
version.
him more realistic Joker.
Yeah.
Like an actual, like, psychopath.
Yeah. Gangster kind of
vibe
guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
it made more sense to me than all the other ones. Yeah. But also, nobody can be Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Nobody.
I still haven't seen that one.
Except maybe, I would actually bring up probably
Heath Ledger.
Thank you. He's pretty good too. Yeah. It goes Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, Jared Leto.
And then,
I don't know about the other one.
There's got to be another person to play him.
I think there's two other people, but I can't remember their names.
Yeah.
Like the original Batman, there was that guy, and then there was one other, and then it was Heath Ledger, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then Jared Leto, then Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix plays a really good, realistic Joker.
Yeah, I haven't seen that though.
That's on our list.
It's been out for so long and I still haven't seen it. But, you know, the guy when I was on a train in Minnesota who was really high on drugs. He wanted us all to know that Joaquin Phoenix was the best Joker. That's what he kept saying while he was throwing cigarettes on the train. He was just like, Joaquin Phoenix is the best Joker, and I was sitting there like, I'm really scared right now.
Get me out of here now, please. Thank you.
Back to books. I do also like. I remember liking the Beautiful Creatures movie and the book. I remember liking those, except I wish they hadn't cut one of the characters from Beautiful Creatures. I forget. It's not even
which one.
that important to me now, but at the time when I first watched Beautiful Creatures, I was like, oh, like.
Oh, do you know? Is it the Alma?
Yes,
because she in the book was 2 characters.
Yeah,
but in the movie she was just 1.
Yeah, they like
I
shoved them.
I liked them together because I was like, you don't need the other one. You don't need the librarian. Just make it 1.
Yeah, I remember not liking that they did that, but I remember.
I also love the actress who plays her. She does it so well.
I do not remember.
It's Viola Davis.
Oh,
yeah. Fantastic. And then yeah, I really like the movies. Books so much better, but movie I go to it. I bought it.
Yeah.
It's on my Amazon.
I'm interested in what the other books as movies would have been like, but the movie didn't.
The second book I hated. I was like, this is stupid.
I can't remember the second one because I remember really fond memories for the first book, and then the subsequent books, I don't remember them as much as I remember
the second one is when they're trying to find Lena and going through like all these tunnels to get to these different places.
Yeah.
And there's these like black ghost people.
Mm-hmm. Those were good books.
Second one I did not enjoy. I was like, this is weird. It felt like in my brain I was imagining Inception, like things moving, or Doctor Strange, like things like moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, this is weird. It turned into like sci-fi, and now I don't like it. Like real sci-fi, not like fantasy sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember really liking those books because they were kind of different from the stuff that I was reading at the time. So I should reread those. And yeah, I remember taking my mom to the movie actually, and I liked it when I saw it, but I actually have not seen it since then. Or maybe I did. I think I had it like, you know how like cable, there used to be like movie channels?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think there's still is, but we don't got cable.
Mm-hmm.
I would wait for it to like, excuse me. I would wait for it to come on the movie channel to catch. And so I think that was the few times that I watched it after the movie theaters, because that movie came out before like I really had streaming services, like it was like cable TV or like see it in theaters or rent it, and so I was just waiting for it on the TV. I think my biggest gripe where the movie sucks is The Mortal Instrument, because I also loved those books, and they ended up making a show, which I haven't seen, but I hear the show is a lot better than the movie. But the movie tried to take, because The Mortal Instruments is, I think, like 8 books long. They tried to, like, shove so many multiple books into one movie, and I was like, this is chaos.
They knew they weren't going to make a second movie.
They're like, let's move, like, things that happen in book 3 into the beginning of the movie, and I was like, this is chaos, and I cannot watch this.
I have no opinion. I've never read the book or watched the movie.
Other than, the Lily Collins, she's in it. She's the...
Well, I've seen videos on it, but I don't know, like, the books at all, so I can't compare.
Which I like Lily Collins.
It looks funny.
Also, like, Jamie Campbell Bower, who played one of the main characters. Also, he played one of the characters in Twilight, which at the time I really liked Twilight, so I was like, oh my gosh. He plays a small part. He plays one of the Volturi, the one with the straight blonde hair. That's Jamie Campbell Bower, and people now know him as playing Vecna in Stranger Things. So it's been like a full ass like. That's in like the newest season that I'm the one that just happened, but it's such a full circle for me because I was like, Twilight, I know Jamie Campbell Bower, the Mortal Instruments came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be in this, and then he became the villain of Stranger Things, and everyone was thirsting over him, and I was like, I remember Jamie Campbell Bower, I know him.
Do you know how many seasons of Stranger Things I've watched?
One,
just the first. I was like, why do you gotta keep going? It was such a good story.
Oh,
stop.
It gets better. Like, it's...
People say season 2 sucks. Season 3 is better.
Yeah, season 2, not great. Season 3...
So can I just skip season 2 and go to season 3? Do I need context?
I mean, a little bit, but I think you could. And then the 4th season is really, really good. Like,
I'm just not interested in anymore.
The first
one was great.
Leans more horror, which I am enjoying. It's actually very... Not, like, very scary, but some stuff that happens, I'm like, this is, like, kind of disturbing. I really like the 3rd season. It's very kind of wholesome, but at the same time having a really good plot. But, yeah, Jamie Campbell Bower, so... It was a weird connection for him to all of a sudden be playing a villain. And he's, like, in full-ass, like, makeup, too. So I would have never known that until he did one of those BuzzFeed thirst tweets. And everybody was, like, thirsting over him. And I was like, he's been, like, a part of my life somehow as an actor for so long. Just popping up in random things. So that's just my quick aside about him because I find it funny. But yeah, so Mortal Instruments, you haven't seen it or read it, but yeah, just too many books to try to fit. And I think, like you said, they were like, I don't know if this is gonna.
They just left it on a cliffhanger just in case they did.
Which the show picked it up, and so like it got its redemption with the show. Like, I have never seen the show, but I hear it's good. So that is interesting. I think we should do more books into TV shows if they're like a long ass series. Then it'd be a good way to get a story on.
I have an announcement.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson is being a TV show now.
Which
that didn't pick up. Percy Jackson is becoming a TV show now.
Which I think is a cool idea. Like, if the movies
it's actually paid by kids, and I'm like, oh, because in Percy Jackson, in the first book, he's 13.
Mm-hmm. And then,
he's not 16 or 17 like in the movie.
Teenagers. So, yeah, teenagers. Yeah, which I think is cool. If a movie series doesn't do well, let's try with the TV. And hopefully it goes over well.
I'm super excited. I need to see when that comes out so I can watch it.
I'd probably watch it even though I don't know the books because I
can tell you if it's like it. The trailer looks exactly like the first book. Like plot points of the first book.
I remember...
Also, the guy who's Ian is in Percy Jackson, the movie.
Yes, he
plays Luke.
And he also plays Adam in Supernatural. Why is he also everywhere in my life somehow? Not the...
Just random places.
Yeah, he just pops up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Jake Abel. Like, I know his name now. He just shows up in the most random things. So, very interesting. But, well, I'll have to give it a watch, because I liked the first movie. I don't remember the second a whole lot. I don't remember. There's a third, right?
What?
A third movie of the Percy Jackson? Or they stop it?
Just two.
Oh yeah, the second one, the only thing
monsters.
I remember about that one is, Jake Gable's character, they're like standing on the roof of his boat. It's just like, why are you on my boat? I still remember that till this day because I laughed so hard on the movie theater at that. Because he's just so nonchalant, like, what are you doing?
Why are you on the roof of my boat?
Yeah. Get off of here. Yeah, I used to love reading books that were going to be turned into movies. Because I remember I read The Hunger Games, and then I saw that they were going to be turned into movies. I ended up choosing the books that turned into movies without knowing it. Like, Beautiful Creatures, I read those before they became movies. The Divergent series, I've read before they became movies. So I guess I was just choosing the the ones that were being turned into movies.
You're choosing mainstream books, Lyrica.
Yeah.
That's why they get turned into movies.
That was the dystopian times. Those two.
Ooh, I want to do one last controversial take. Divergent is better than Hunger Games.
Like the movies?
Yeah. No, not the movies, the books.
I thought you meant the movies, and I was like,
No.
oh, no.
The books, I do like the movies more personally to the Hunger Games. Because for me, I think it's more... Here's the thing. It depends on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The first Divergent, no. Second Divergent, no. Third, yes. I love the third movie. Is it the third movie? I think it's the third movie I really like. Hunger Games, first one, okay. Second one, getting better. Third one, what the fuck is this? Fourth one, amazing.
Yeah,
The only reason why Hunger Games is better than Divergent movie-wise to me is because that last movie was so fucking good.
Yeah. See, I like the majority of the Hunger Games movies better. I only liked the Divergent movie. I did not like Insurgent, and I didn't like the first part of Allegiant, which they didn't even make a second part. It never got made. It's incomplete. It's very weird. I
don't remember how that ends. I remember liking the last one.
Yeah, it was supposed to have a second part.
I liked the last one because I was always interested in what the outside world looked like and how it was tainting everything. Like how she was starting to be tainted and everything. I liked it. She became a villain, and I like that.
I like, from what I both of those series once, so like my memories of them are like not the best because Hunger Games I think I read in middle school, maybe into high school. I can't remember. It was like years and years ago, and same with the Divergent books. Years and years and years ago. I never reread those. I don't even know where my books are because I had physical books. I don't know where they went. They're not on
Your
my
mom's.
giant bookshelf.
I think it's at your mom's. I think I saw it at your mom's.
Might be, yeah. So I can't remember.
The third Divergent book, she was supposed to die. And then Tobias takes, the last scene is him taking either a serum or a pill or something.
I know.
To make him forget her.
I swear she does die in the book.
That's what I said.
Oh.
In the third book, she dies and Tobias takes a serum or a thing and it erases her memory. His memory.
I swear that you said she was supposed to die. I was like, wait, she did.
No, in the movie, she didn't die. She was supposed to die because of the third book.
See, I thought you were referencing the book, and I was like, what?
No, she was.
Yeah.
She was supposed to die in the movie, but she didn't. In the book, she did.
Yeah.
That was 10 times. Honestly, if they did that in the movie, I think I would like Divergent movies better than Hunger Games.
I would not. Because I was so angry that they killed her. I don't like characters that I like dying. So I was like, I am angry. I don't want to read
I don't like how they... Here's the thing. I like it when it's realistic.
I do not.
And we argue about this. I like it when a book is realistic or does a plot twist like that. Where you're like, she would never die, and she dies, and you're like, what the fuck? For me, it's unique. Because back then, people don't write like that. Yeah. Honestly, Candace should have died in the last book. That would have been cool. Being like, you're writing something that I'm not expecting. That's a big twist that I would have never expected for the protagonist to die. So interesting.
Yeah. I mean, the end of the Hunger Games, though, is still not very happy, I would say. But at least the book, I remember the book being like, she just forever is traumatized, and she's like trying to be like, yeah, my baby, like, will be hope, but she's sitting there like, just messed up for the rest of her life, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, but it's not a plot twist. Obviously, if somebody goes through that, they're gonna be traumatized. I don't want to see bitches die. It's something unique, and I don't expect writers to do that, because writers become attached to their own characters, and so for them to kill them, it's like, whoa, I did not expect you to do that. And I find it unique. I like unique books. I don't like... And that's why I like the books better in Divergent, because it's unique. Like, people compare Hunger Games to Divergent all the time. But here's the thing. I think Divergent's writer, Veronica Roth, was much more creative with her writing. That she was able to do something that we did not expect.
Yeah.
Well, no offense to... Who did Hunger Games?
I don't remember. Her name, I think, is a little bit more different. Because, like, I remember Veronica Roth because her name is very... Simple. But I feel like the Hunger Games writer is something a little bit more different.
Suzanne Collins.
Yeah, okay. It's a little
Suzanne Collins. She's a great writer, but, like, nothing, like, truly shocked me. I think the only thing that shocked me was PETA being brainwashed. That's it.
Yeah.
We need to stop.
Yeah.
My throat's starting to hurt.
I mean, she did like to kill a character, though, to give her that. Because the final one, she's like, get rid of Finnick, get rid of all of the people, and then...
Yeah, but I wasn't attached to them.
Yeah. See, I love Finnick.
Finnick, I was a hit or miss.
I am a Finnick stan.
In the movie, at least. I didn't care that much for him. Well, I knew nothing about him. I just knew he loved this girl, and that's it. There's, like, nothing there. If we knew deeper about him, then I would have. Like, maybe the book went more deeper into him in relationship with Katniss, but, like,
Go-Go?
Honestly, no. It was not. Oh, she's trying to get the food.
Oh, okay. That must be why she ran up there. And I'm just afraid, like, she's gonna hop and sister or something. But, yeah, I don't remember him in the book. Again, I have not read those in so long. But I remember liking Divergent and Insurgent. I just didn't like the ending of the series because I like happy endings more unless I'm specifically going into something that I want to be sad. Like The Fault in Our Stars, I was like, I know this is going to end up sad at the end. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, he, like, actually makes it. Like, so, unless I want something that's specifically sad, I like happy endings more than... That's why I didn't like Allegiant, because I was like, no, this is sad to me. I don't want to read this.
I don't think I was sad.
I was sad. Especially in... I think when I read those, I was so... I was very attached to every like, character in books. Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
I don't get attached to characters in books.
Yeah, I get attached to...
Because my brain goes, they're not real.
No.
That's what my brain... I don't get attached to things that I don't see.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a person, then I would get attached to you. The only time I ever get attached is TV show characters.
Mm-hmm.
Not usually movies, but TV show characters, because you stick with them for so long, I get attached to them.
I'm all.
But I don't... My brain goes, they're not real. So
I have bawled over so many books. I remember reading this one, which is not a movie. This will be my last thought. It was a book about angels, and then one of the main characters supposedly dies, but then you find out that he doesn't. And I remember sitting there, like, bawling my eyes out at, like, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, this is the saddest thing I've ever read. Just absolutely losing my mind. And it's such, like, a memory for me now. I remember feeling so exhausted because I was like, I cried so much over this. And then he ended up being alive, and I was like, I cried for no reason. But, yeah, I get really attached to them.
Can't relate. That didn't pick up.
I know.
I think I'm down for the count. My throat's starting to hurt, which isn't a good sign.
Well, not for that, but I meant...
She nodded at me.
I meant more like, yes.
That's good.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Which wouldn't be good because I gotta drive.
No.
So if I'm sinus infection, I can't drive. Okay. Sign off. We're 20 minutes over.
Don't be an Edward.
Go watch Friends, the TV show. Not your real friends.
Or you could.
Still no.
Yeah. My update is I haven't finished season 4. I am getting close. I think I'm on episode 16 or something like that.
She's been watching Teen Wolf instead.
Yeah. Well, that's when I've been playing my game. I watch.
And you've been playing your game.
Yeah.
Every time you come home to when you go to bed.
I watch Friends in the morning when I'm getting ready. That's my Friends time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, bye. Oh yeah, and cut.
That's small.
Oh, nope.